Good morning and welcome to Crossfire on Cool TV. My name is Agah Ishioma, and unfortunately, Dr. Banjo, my co-host on the show, would not be joining us because he has some urgent assignments to carry on. But I have with me the intelligent and smart-looking Gbenga Aborowa.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Crossfire.
Thank you very much. Morning.
Today, our focus will be on the Nigerian environment, with emphasis on the United Nations Environmental Programme, well, the reports by UNEP, on the cleanup of the Ogoni land. How will the cleanup help the Nigerian environment in totality? What policies should be implemented to ensure the dreams of pro-Nigerians as regards the exercise are not truncated? So these and more are the issues which we'll be looking at on the show today. Joining us on the discussion is no other than Mrs. Annkio Briggs. Can I refer to you as Mrs.?
Miss.
Okay, Miss Annkio Briggs. She is a rights activist and she is the founder and executive director of a non-governmental organization known as Agah Birthright. As of 2011, she was the spokeswoman of the Ijaw Republican Assembly and as well as in the United Niger Delta Energy Development Security Strategy. Welcome on Crossfire.
Thank you. I'm actually still the spokesperson of these two organizations. Yes, yeah.
It's amazing having you on the show.
Thank you very much.
But before we delve into the issues for today, we'll be taking a quick look at some of the stories making the headline news. Gbenga, over to you.
Okay, quite interesting times indeed, and interesting headlines we have here. Focus is on, I would like to start from New Delhi in India. The Nigerian embassy in Delhi, India, has written to the country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs to see the two Nigerians that were reportedly arrested in Punjab recently while on their way to Pakistan, allegedly to join the Islamic State terrorist group. The two youths, allegedly from Kano, identified as Imran Kabir and Sani Jamilu, are currently being detained by the Punjab police in India. The Indian police has arrested the two youths on suspicions that they were on their way to join ISIS in Pakistan without valid travel documents. The spokesman of the Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ogbole Amedu Ode, confirmed that Nigerian embassy officials had applied to see the suspects to ascertain their claim of Nigerian nationality. These are interesting times, and just recently a man, a wanted cleric who was on Interpol's most wanted list, and the presidency is questioning how he managed to get a Nigerian visa. He was arrested in Lebanon, Rafik Hariri International Airport, on his way to Nigeria via Cairo, and then you have these two Nigerians allegedly on their way to Pakistan to join ISIS. But I think the Indian officials should grant members of the Nigerian Foreign Ministry access to this,
to question them
and to, because in the past we've seen people claim Nigerian nationality to carry out nefarious activities when they were not Nigerian. So it would be nice to clear the air on that.
What's your take on that now?
Well, I agree with the fact that if anybody claims to be a Nigerian, first of all, they must be accorded all the protection that Nigeria as a country is liable to give to them. Having said that, we also must be sure that these people are actually Nigerians, because let us not forget that one of the problems we have in security is that our borders are very porous, either by sea or by land. Our borders are really porous.
So do you think this administration can do something effective in making sure that all of these security breaches are well checked?
I think that we make a lot of mistakes as a people and as a nation when we restrict our expectations in terms of this administration. That is, indicting whoever is at the head of the administration. It's a policy issue, and it is the responsibility of any government, not just this administration, or whoever is at the head of that. It's a government thing, and we should hold the government accountable and not always put it on top of the person who is there, so that we move away from the responsibility of holding collectively the people who are in government concerned. I mean, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Internal Affairs should be held accountable by the president and say, hey, we hear, come. We hear there are 2 people claiming to be Nigerians. I want to know. We don't expect the president to go and find out by himself. You know, so I think that Nigerians, we should know what our rights are and what we should expect our leaders to deliver to us, not on the platform of political parties. I think, again, that is where we have lost it, by restricting our expectations to political parties, yes.
And still on the stories in the news, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says about 110 million Nigerians were still living below poverty line, despite the policies of past governments to improve their welfare. The Vice President, however, has stated that the policies were wrongly formulated and as a result did not have a direct impact on the people. Speaking on a courtesy visit by members of the alumni, the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies at the State House in Abuja, the Vice President said his concern is how to implement the policies to address the need of the people. Professor Osinbajo further stated that a country cannot be described as rich when about 2/3 of the people are extremely poor. Madam, a lot of people have said this current administration, the posturing is on, they've told us the rots that happened in the past, and it's all about that they do more about complaining and telling us what the rot is than action. Do you agree with that assertion? And others believe that, you know, you need to clean before you start to work, and they're just informing Nigerians of the state of affairs.
Politically, what we lack in Nigeria is continuity. Government, it doesn't matter which government, whether it's a Democratic government or a Republican government, a PDP government or an APC government. What Nigerians need is continuity. You start immediately where the other one stopped. Now, the change comes in when what you are bringing is better than what you found. That is the essence of change. The essence of change is not just to say the past government didn't do well. Therefore, I mean, while you were reading that thing on poverty level, I wrote down in caps, change. We're talking of change. Where is the change? We know that we live below poverty line. The fact that many Nigerians live below poverty line is something that we have known for as long as we have known Nigeria as an independent nation. Now, what Nigerians want is something that will begin to bring down the numbers of the people that are living below poverty line. Today, we have a world oil price crash. That is going to affect Nigeria tremendously because the only source of income Nigeria has is oil and gas. And therefore, if the price of oil has come down, more people are going to fall below the poverty line. What is anybody? What is the economists of Nigeria? What is their plan for us so that we don't continue to fall below the poverty line? And yes, fine, point out what went wrong, but now tell us what you are going to do to make it come right. Now, we have a situation where the price of oil is going down drastically. It's not going to come up. What, in the interim right now, in the next 3 months, by December, what is this government today proposing that is going to help Nigerians? Are we going to go into farming?
Well,
they've
given out a blueprint of some of those things to focus
it's
on.
not
Agriculture is one of them.
It is not giving us the blueprint. Where is the action? We want to see the action. Don't say that the other government did not give us action. Therefore, that justifies you not giving us action, or therefore that means that somebody, or we should not, Nigerians should not say that we want action from you.
But in 3 months of this administration, we've seen a bit of the action. A lot of loopholes have been plugged. Revenue generation, monies that have been distributed to the states have increased. I don't know how they do it, how they did it, even with the drop in oil crisis and the situation we have in our hands. But the money they've been sharing at the federal level to the states, it's been increasing since May. So that's a miracle in itself.
I think that instead of, I'm horrified when I hear the word sharing. You know, what we should be talking about is the money that is being generated outside of oil and gas. And we should not be using the word sharing. We should be using the word generating internally. What are the states generating internally? Look, any state today that cannot pay its workers, that cannot pay the people who work in government houses, that cannot pay the people who work in their ministries, it must answer to Nigerians and the people of that state. How do you intend to bring us out of poverty when you as a government is poor? And you are poor, that's why you cannot pay us. And your reliance is totally out of the state. That is to say that the states like Osun, for instance, or Edo State, for instance, will need is not going to come out of Osun. It's not going to come out of Edo State. It's going to come out of somewhere else. So you have to ask yourself that question. How do we move out of that rut and start generating? There are things that Edo as a state, River State as a state
could it be the resource control could be the answer to
that
this?
That is the answer. That's what we have been saying. But people see that when someone like me say that, they see it as selfish. It is not. You have to be able to look. If you're a man and you're going to marry and you don't know how you're going to feed your wife for the next 6 months, or if your wife is pregnant and she's about to give birth in 9 months, that's when you're running around looking for hospital bill, then you are not prepared. You should not have married. That is where we are. We need, that is the change we need. It's not primarily the change of the person. It is the change of the policy that we have in Nigeria that is going to bring about the change that Nigerians must have.
Okay, thank you so much. On that note, we'll be going on a quick commercial break, and when we return, we'll be going straight to part 2 of the program. Stay tuned.
So, did you like what you just saw? I know you did. It's very simple. If you want to see more, just subscribe to our channel right now.